All right, I said we're going to get 8 topics in. We're going to get 8 topics in, guys.
Yeah.
We're going to spend 2 minutes real quick before we get to Supers, recapping the Cavaliers' loss to the Bucks last night. Jason, I know you were driving back. Didn't get a chance to
without
watch
their 3 best players in the game.
We're without James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, and Evan Mobley. Jarrett Allen continued his dominant month of February.
Did you think that final bucket was on time?
No, you can clearly see the replay
clearly,
where it was still in his hand.
I was not watching, to be totally honest, at that point.
No, it was about a 0.2 seconds too late. It was late. But, the Cavs did fall to the Bucks. They were shorthanded. Allen had another monster game. Schroder had 26 points and 5 assists. Ellis hit 5 threes off the bench to provide them a little offense. They gave up 19 threes to the Bucks, which means if you take out the Knicks game, you look at the 2 games they played against OKC and against Milwaukee, they allowed 43-point makes to teams that don't make a ton of threes. They have to protect the three-point line better. They did a good job against the Knicks. They only let the Knicks make 10 threes, but 50 over 3 games is way too high of a number. Shorthanded was a good effort.
Well, so were the Bucks. I mean, they didn't have their best player either.
But Giannis, I get that. But you're missing 3, and you find out Harden's not playing at the last minute. Little different than them knowing they're going into a game without Giannis. Ty, what was your big takeaway about how the Cavs fought hard, but unfortunately came up just short?
I mean, I just like the fact that the role players made it a game. You know, it was we lean so heavily on James Harden and Donovan Mitchell and Evan at times. It's nice to see those other guys show you, like, hey, we can get buckets too. Like, if it came down to it and we needed a bucket, they can serve as an X factor. Dennis coming off the bench, I think that could be a highly underrated move that the Cavs make, because he's not somebody that you could depend on, but you see he can find a rhythm, he can get high, and he can make some stuff happen. So you like that. I like the fact that Jaylon Tyson is still trying. Like I said, since James Harden got here, we haven't seen those quite Jaylon Tyson performances that we have. And last night wasn't that, but it seems like he's trying to find his rhythm to get back to that, a little more facilitating. Jarrett Allen still doing Jarrett Allen things. I mean, hey, at this point, I think that he is who I think he is, I guess, at this point. You dropping 27 and 11. And then I like Keon Ellis. That's the other guy that they made that trade for. Do you think that they need to do, like, when you look at the Cavs line, they're not tall. So if you're not a tall team, how do you get people off the three-point line? Like, how do you run them off? Because, like, you know, they struggled when they went up against the Hawks last year because they was a long team and stuff like that. If you short, Mike, how do you run people off the three-point line?
It really doesn't have anything to do with height or length, frankly. Like, Atlanta's length last year, it wasn't their three-point shooting that gave Cleveland the majority of their issues. It comes down to the mentality, and the Cavaliers' offensive mentality is protect the paint. Like, they play a style of defense that allows teams – or encourages teams, not allows, encourages teams to take more perimeter shots as opposed to getting to the cup. And on some nights, teams will shoot themselves out of games. On other nights, like we saw against OKC, you catch fire. But at some point, I do think there needs to be some sort of adjustment made from Kenny Atkinson and the staff if teams are making as many shots as OKC did, as Milwaukee did, to just blitz off pick and roll, to get it out of the ball handler's hand, and to rotate one step up in the rotation so pick and pop scenarios like Miles Turner got or Bobby Portis just aren't open immediately on the catch.
Well, the reason I asked is, you remember last year when we played the Celtics the first time, I think coming into that game, we was hot from the three-point line, and the Celtics kept running us off the three, and it, like, messed up the whole game plan. I was just wondering, like, why don't we do that more to teams that's hitting threes?
I mean, it's a good question. The reason the Cavs play the defensive style they play is you have Mobley and Allen who are 2 good rim protectors.
Yeah,
right?
I understand that.
So you want to.
Well, wouldn't you want to run them off the three-point line even more?
Yes.
Yes, and no. Yes and no. Now,
why and no?
So, all right. So we got to go back to go forward. Allow me for 1 sec.
Okay.
So when you have 2 guys, so they have the 2 bigs, right? They only play together for like 3 minutes at a time, twice a game. It's mostly a 1 big lineup they run.
Okay.
When you run the 1 big lineups, and I'd be curious, I don't know the answer to this, I'd have to look into it. If the 3-point percentage of opponents' shots are different when it's 2 bigs versus 1 big. When you have the 1 big, if you actually know what I'm talking out loud? Yeah, it makes more sense. Yeah, I'm trying to talk myself into like reasoning into it.
You should want guys.
No, that's fair.
You should want to force guys off their spot and